everyone, welcome to my reading wrap-up for June, and I did get through 6 books in June. So presently I'm reading my second Abby Jimenez, and this is just for the summer, and the first book of hers was Part of Your World, and I think I give that 3.5, but you can't really go by me. I'm not normally into contemporary romance, but I was following Abby on her TikTok, and she has these 4 dogs, and she has just a great sense of humor, and all of her books seem to get such high ratings. She gets like 4 stars and up all the time for her books, so I thought I'd try them anyhow. So again, I'm not really one to rate a romance because they're usually not my thing, but I do like how how her characters don't have an easy life, certainly. They have a lot of barriers to their relationship. Abby does handle trauma and difficult subjects. I think she handles them quite respectfully and conscientiously, so I do like that. I do like the humor of the books. So yeah, they're growing on me. So this follows Emma and Justin. They both have really bad luck with relationships. It seems that every time someone breaks up with them, that person goes on to find their soulmate, and they get engaged and married, and it seems to be happening over and over again. So they figure if they get together, then they can kind of break the curse. So they'll go out a few times, they'll break up, and hopefully find their soulmates. So yeah, it's a cute little concept. So yeah, about a third of the way through, and yeah, so far so good. Alrighty, and then for the books I finished in June, I'll start with my 5-star, and that is One Dark Window by Rachel Gillig. So this has gotten such phenomenal reviews, but with fantasy, I kind of take it with a grain of salt. But yeah, I read this and it's like, oh, this is definitely a 5-star. I could not put this down. So this follows Elsbeth, who lives in the kingdom of Blunder. So this is, I'm going to try to compress the summary because there's a lot going on in this book. So I believe she's like 20 years old now. When she was 9 years old, her and a lot of people, especially children, got this particular fever, and if they didn't die from it and they recovered, they had these sort of magical abilities, and everyone had a different magical ability, and the king didn't like that. He kind of wanted all the power in that, so he ended up having the captain's guard and these doctors hunting down these children and killing them, whoever had magical powers. And Elsbeth, she didn't have a visible power. Her power is actually, she has this entity inside her head, so she's able to hide this power. And anyway, there's these cards that were made up by this lord with the help of this sort of pagan creature about 500 years ago, and only the wealthy and the powerful have these cards. And anyway, it's just, there's a lot going on, but it was still not a difficult read or anything like that. I really love the atmosphere. There's this kind of perpetual mist in the kingdom, and if you go into the woods with this mist, you never come out again. So it's very atmospheric. There is a romance, but I liked it. I gotta say, I did like it. I love some of the characters in here. The magic system I enjoyed. It was just all around a really enjoyable book. And I do have the sequel, I think it's called The Twisted Crown, and I got both of the books off Book Outlet during their $7.99 sale. But yeah, 5-star for me. I just really enjoyed that. Alrighty, and then this one, I think I'd probably give this a 4.5 or 5-star. This is A Marvelous Light by Freya Marsk, and I read this during Pride Month. So there is a gay romance in here, a queer romance between Robin and Edwin, and it's just so sweet. I just love these two. So there is a magical system in here. Everyday people don't know about it, but there are some, usually very wealthy, powerful people have these magical abilities, and is it Robin? Yeah, Robin accidentally gets this position in this office where they kind of track down magical happenings, and they go and investigate it, that sort of thing. And he finds out that, whoa, there's magic in the world. And they have to investigate a certain happening, and Robin and Edwin get together to investigate it, and it's just the sweetest romance. It gets pretty spicy with these two, and there's a few pretty spicy scenes with these guys, but yeah, they're just so sweet, and you just can't help but root for them. So I really just enjoyed it. I did like the characters in here. It was an interesting magic system. I do have the second book in the series, and I just ordered the third book off of Awesome Books from the UK. So yeah, I'd say about 4.5, I would say, with this one. Yeah, it was a very interesting story. Alrighty, and then this is by Frederick Bachman. This is Anxious People, and I did read the first two books in the trilogy, the Beartown series trilogy, and I gave those both 5 stars. And I just really, really like Frederick Bachman's writing style. He takes just everyday people and throws them in difficult situations, and he just has such interesting insight into how different people react to different situations, depending on what's happened in their past. And it's hard to explain. He just really, really does a good job of just kind of describing the human psyche, and how we get through difficult situations, and our relationships, and how those affect us. And this one does have a sense of humor. The Beartown was quite serious. This one has a sense of humor. It's the same kind of idea where they're taking these ordinary people and throwing them in a difficult situation and seeing kind of how they react depending on their relationships and their past, etc. So this bank robber is trying to rob this bank, but it's a cashless bank. So the bank robber runs out of the bank, runs across the street, and runs up the stairs, and he ends up in this apartment where there is a showing. So there's different people in this apartment looking at it, and he kind of holds them hostage in a way. And also follows a police officer and his dad, who are kind of looking after the hostage situation. And it goes into the background of these people, and why they're there, and the different reactions from the different people. And so yeah, I didn't like it as much as Beartown, though. It was humorous, but I did like the Beartown a little bit better. But I still give this a 4-star, though. And the next book is The Endless Beach by Jenny Colgan, and I do like my Jenny Colgan books. There's just something about them. This is the second book in this particular series. The first one is Cafe by the Sea, and this follows Flora, who used to work in a high-pressure job in London, and she worked with this lawyer, Joel, and she had a real crush on him. And at one point they're sent to the Scottish island of Muir, where she grew up, and she has to work with Joel, her boss, and her crush, and she ends up staying there. She just decides her family's here, and she ends up opening this kind of coffee bakery shop, and she tries to continue the relationship with Joel. And this just is a continuation of that. I just love the atmosphere off this island off the coast of Scotland, and I do like her character. I really like her family. Joel, I did not like him in the first book. I thought, why are you even interested in him? He's a twit, which is putting it nicely. And but during this book, we find out a lot more about Joel's background and why he is the way he is and how he's trying to change in that. So, and so this is not just a strictly romance book. There's other situations going on besides the romance, and yeah, there's another relationship going on with a family member, and oh my God, I thought I was going to cry at the end. I thought, Jenny, how can you do this to me? This is supposed to break me up. And anyway, yeah, it was kind of gut-wrenching at the end there. So anyway, I give this 4-star. I consistently like my Jenny Colgan books. And then this is by Sue Moorcroft, Under a Summer Sky. Again, I like stories that take place off the coast of Ireland, England, what have you. And this takes place on the island of Skye. So Thea lives with her sister on the island of Skye. They did live on the mainland, but something had happened in the past, so they both kind of wanted to escape that situation and come to the island of Skye. So Thea works as a head gardener at this estate, and then one day this stranger shows up, and she figures he's here for the part-time gardening job, and he says, oh yeah, I am, and he gets the job, but he's actually an investigative reporter, kind of looking into her past, what had happened into her past, but he decides when he meets her that he doesn't want to investigate her anymore. He doesn't want to report on her. He just wants to start fresh and all this, and just kind of their relationship and all the issues with that. Again, I don't know what's with all this romance, but anyway, yeah, it was about a 3.5. I didn't mind it too much. I did like the place. Whoop, I gotta cool down here. Anyway, so yeah, it wasn't too bad. I did like the atmosphere. Yeah, the things that had happened in the past, how, it's interesting to see how they kind of overcame that and sort of thing. I do have the second book. It takes place at Christmas time on the island of Skye, so I thought it'd be a nice Christmas read. And this is by Helen Humphreys, who is a Canadian author, and this is Rabbitfoot Bill. So this starts off in 1947 in Saskatchewan. Leonard is a young boy, and I think he's 12 at the time, and he's bullied quite a bit at school and that, and he makes friends with this sort of outsider, Bill, who lives sort of in a dugout on this hill outside of town. He's kind of a loner. He's very unusual and weird, but Leonard just loves hanging out with him. And then one day, Leonard witnesses Bill murdering someone, and then it jumps 12 years ahead of time, and Leonard has become a psychiatrist, and he's working his first job in the Weyburn insane asylum or psychiatric hospital, which this is a story. The story is loosely based on a true story. So there was this Rabbitfoot Bill who did murder someone, and there is the psychiatrist who worked with him or saw him in this Weyburn hospital, but it's fairly loosely based anyhow. But it's simply told. There's no purple prose, there's nothing fancy writing, it's just told straightforward. So when he's a psychiatrist, he finds out that Bill is working, Bill's a patient in this psychiatric hospital, and even though he's not the doctor of Bill, he does want to get involved, and things kind of start spiraling out of control. So yeah, this took place in the 50s when there was LSD experimentation on patients, and even the doctors took LSD too with their patients. So yeah, they went into a little bit of detail about the LSD experimentations, but not a lot. There's like just 250 pages in this book, so I was just hoping it was a bit longer and they go into a little more detail, because that was quite kind of interesting reading about that. But yeah, what happens during the story is, how we kind of repress our memories, and we think everything's fine. We think we're making the right decisions, but everything that's happened in the past, all the trauma, affects our ability to remember things correctly. It affects our ability to make the right decisions. So yeah, it was quite an interesting read. I give that about a 3.75. And I've ordered a couple of other books from Helen Humphreys off of Book Outlet. So that's my reading wrap up for June. And yeah, I got so many books I want to read. I don't know what to read after this. There's just so many. I'm kind of trying to stick with sort of summer themed books. But anyway, that's it. I hope you have a great reading month, and take care, and we'll see you soon. Bye bye.